Good morning. We are continuing with our percentages unit. Today we are doing CO34. I can use a tax to find the total cost. So when you buy stuff at the store, there's taxes associated with it. So if you see that you can buy the video game for $19.99, is that your final price? No. They're going to put a tax on it, and every state has a different sales tax that they put onto things. So you always need to look at what the tax is going to be and factor that in, because if you have $20 and something costs $19.99, you don't have enough money because there's going to be tax with it. So you have to factor that in. Okay. So something many people deal with nearly every day is tax. Why does something on the dollar menu at McDonald's cost more than $1? Because of the tax. Tax is a percentage similar to a discount, but it increases the price rather than decreases it. Here are some situations you may encounter. You buy a picture frame for $5. You're at Five Below. You find a really cool frame for $5. Awesome. You got a $5 bill. Not enough money to pay for it because you need the tax money. So you need to figure out, let's say there's a 10% tax. How much is that total cost, that final cost of the picture frame? Or maybe you buy an iPod for $400 and you're buying it somewhere crazy where there's a 40% tax. My goodness, 40% tax is huge. Don't normally see that, but for the sake of our math work, we're going to say there's a 40% tax. We need to figure out what the final price of the iPod is. Or you buy a plot of land. So now you're an adult, because most kids aren't buying a piece of land. But you're an adult buying land for $550, and there's a 20% tax. So you need to make sure you have enough money to cover that tax. So as we saw in CO33, there are multiple ways we can answer the questions above. So I'm going to show us two different ways to figure out that tax. Just like yesterday. And then you're going to say, which way works best for me? Okay, I'm going to show us both ways. And then we're going to go back and say, oh, I get this way. I'm going to use this way to answer it. Because like yesterday, either way will get us the same answer. So today I'm just going to do finding the tax first for all three of them. And then I'll do finding the final price directly for all three of them. So we're just going to practice one way 3 times, and then we're going to practice the other way 3 times.
In a row?
Yes. Okay. So for our picture frame, finding the tax first. Think about what we did yesterday when we were finding the discount first. It's going to be very similar with one key difference. What do you think the difference is going to be, Jillian?
You add you add like the total to the actual price instead of minus.
Yeah, yesterday we were doing a discount, so we were subtracting that percentage away. Today, it's that tax is increasing our total, so we're going to be adding. So it's not too different from yesterday. Okay, so instead of subtracting, we will be adding. So how do you think I'm going to set it up for my picture frame? Jillian?
So 10% of 5, and then 0.1 times 5, which 5, and then
careful. 0.1 times 5.
10.
No. 0.5. So it's 50 cents. So 0.1 times 5, because if it was 1 times 5, it would be 5. 0.1 times 5 equals 0.5. So that's 50 cents. So now what Jillian was saying before, so that first step is the exact same as yesterday, but now instead of subtracting out that discount, now we're adding in the tax. So 5 plus 50 cents gives us what final amount, Jillian?
10.
5 plus 0.5. So it's going to be $5.50. So those decimal points really matter. It's not $5 tax on a $5 frame. That would be crazy. That would be 100% tax. Oof. I've never seen that. Riziki? Yes. But on the test, just like on our homework, what do we have to do? Show your work. So you need to show me, you don't have to write out every single step like that. I need to see what you're putting in your calculator, and then the final answer. So you do have to show me what you're putting into a calculator. That calculation is your work to show. All right, you don't just write the answer. So our final answer here was our frame costed $5.50. Now let's look at our iPod. So do we have to do the 10% of 5? We don't have to write that out unless you want to. If you want to write that out to help you keep organized, you can, or you can convert it right away to that decimal. So what am I going to put in the calculator? James?
0.40 times 400.
So we had 40% is 0.40, and our price is 400. I don't want that to look like a decimal. So what is 0.4 times 400? Isabel?
Is it 460?
160.
160. Okay, so you have to be careful when you're punching stuff into your calculator. You have to make sure it's 0.4 times 400. And it's going to tell you what the final number is. You don't add in any decimals. If there's no decimal that's showing, then it's 160. You don't have to move any decimals. The calculator's doing all of that for you. So if your answer when you're multiplying by a decimal is a whole number, that's your answer. So now I'm not done. The iPod doesn't cost $160. Remember, that's the tax. So what do I have to do, Bennett?
You add 400 plus 160.
I have to add that tax to that original price. So 400 plus 160 gives me $560.
For an iPod?
Yeah. Normally we don't see a 40% tax. That's kind of a little crazy, but that was just for the sake
The more
of...
expensive the item, the more tax.
No,
Really?
actually, it's the same tax no matter, but as your item gets to be a bigger price, that tax seems a lot bigger because you're multiplying it by a higher number. All right, last one for finding the tax first. Riziki. Mhm. Yep.
So you put 0.2 times 500.
Yeah, because it was 20%, so that's 0.20 times 550. So what do I get? James.
110.
I get 110. So now what's my second step? Because that's my tax. It's $110 tax. So what do I do, Enzo?
So you add the 550 to 110.
I add 550, my original price. I add that tax to it, and I get $660. Okay? So just same first step like we did yesterday. Second step, when we're adding in tax, we have to add. We're not decreasing, we're not subtracting. So it's going to be similar to what we're doing with finding the final price directly. Think about what we did to find that final price directly. Remember, we did, let's use green, the original price, and we did times it by 100%. Yesterday, we subtracted the percent. What do you think we're going to do today? Add it. So it's 100% plus your percentage. and then we multiply that by the original amount.
Oh,
So just like instead of subtracting, we added here. Instead of subtracting, we're gonna add here.
so it'll just be 109.
So for our first one, we have that $5 frame and 10% tax. So what is my calculation going to look like? Aiden.
0.10.
So here, our percentage is 0.10 and we're adding it to 100. So it's 1.10 because we're adding it to 100. So now we have that. That's what we're multiplying by what? What's our original price? 5.
So you just do 5.
5 times 1.10. Bennett?
Would you always add it to 100?
Yes. This is our formula. You will always add that percentage to 100. That's how we increase it. So when something is over 100%, we know it's going to go bigger. So that makes sense that our number is going to go bigger. It's going to increase by the tax. So what is 5 times 1.10? Aiden. $5.50. We got the same answer.
I got a question.
Yes.
If we did that to like the 560, we just do 5 and then what would we do for the next one?
Well, we're going to set it up the same way. What's my original price is what?
The original price of the iPod is $400.
$400. And I'm going to multiply that by 100% plus the percentage. So we know that 100% plus our percentage of 0.40, 40%. So 400 times 1.4. Instead of 0.4, we're doing 1.4. And that's what's going to make it go up because we're adding that to the 100%. So what is 400 times 1.4, Melina? 560. We get the same answer. What are we going to do for our land? How would I set up my calculation? Because remember, we're going to write the calculation that we put into our calculator. It's part of our homework. Ethan.
Oh, it's just true.
I know, but I know you know the answer. So walk it through. How am I going to set up my calculation? The land. So start with the original price.
The original is 550.
And what am I going to multiply that by?
0.2.
So that 0.2 is the percentage. What do I have to add to it? So it would be 1.2. Okay. So what is 550 times 1.2? Isabel? 660. We get the same price. So you need to remember to add that 100% to your percentage because we want it to be a bigger number. We are increasing it by the tax. So it's 1 point something, 1 point, whatever that percentage was. And then you get your final answer.
So we do the original price times 1 point tax.
Yes. The original price times that 100% plus your percentage. So it would be 1 point because 100% is 1 point. And then you put in what that percent tax was. Yep. So 1 point to the tax. All right. We good if I scroll down?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So you purchase a calendar for $10. The 10% tax is not included. And we're going to pay for it with $20 bill. How much is your change? So what is my calculation I'm going to put into my calculator? Riziki. Or you're not sure?
So 0.2.
Where did you get 0.2?
Oh, sorry. Wait, 0.10.
So that is our percentage. So what am I going to do with it? By. So we're paying with that $20 bill. That comes in at the end. The first thing we need to do is find out what our total price is. So we're buying something for $10, and we need to find out that 10% tax. So how much is that calendar going to be if it's $10 and there's 10% tax on it? I'm not going to call on somebody who's being a little overexcited. Help her out, Jillian.
0.1 times 10, which equals
0.1 times 10 equals 1. So what do I do with that 1?
add it on to.
Yeah, because it's a $10 calendar, and this found me what the tax was. It was $1 in tax. So now I have my original price plus my tax equals 11. My question is, if I pay with a $20 bill, how much change do I get, Melina?
You do 11 minus 20.
How about we start with our bigger number first and do 20
minus 11.
minus 11. I don't want to go into negative numbers with my change here. 20 minus 11 gives me $9 in change. So this was a two-step problem. First, you had to find the total, how much you would pay with tax, and then you had to subtract that away from your $20. Questions on this problem?
I just have an easier.
Bennett?
Wait, where'd you get the 11?
I added my $10 calendar plus my $1 of tax.
Wait, so okay.
So we found out that tax by doing 0.10 times 10. So the percentage, 10% of 10 is 1. So that's $1. So I added the $1 of tax onto that calendar price of $10.
Okay.
Aiden?
Or you could have done
We could have done the other method.
times 1.10 and
So,
just gotten 11
Yep.
right
Our
there.
other method has my original price of $10 times that 100% plus our tax of 10%, and 10 times 1.10 equals $11. I still have to finish off. So I would have to do 20 minus that total of $11. Now, on our next problem, we are going to change our tax. We are not being charged 20% tax. We're going to be charged 10% tax.
Oh.
And as we work through this problem, when we get to the end, I want to see if anybody can figure out why I changed the tax. So how do I set this up? You purchase 3 bags of fertilizer for $30 each. So what is my subtotal before tax? If it's $30 for 3 bags of fertilizer, Luciana?
30 times 3.
Yeah, I have to do 30 times 3 because there are 3 bags. So it's $30, $30, $30. So my subtotal is going to be 90. Right? It's $90 in fertilizer. Do we see why we did that? We had to add up all 3 bags of fertilizer. You could have done 30 plus 30 plus 30 to get 90, or you could just do 30 times 3 to get 90. So you have to find the subtotal. Now we need to take that $90 and find out what 10% of it is for our tax. Aiden?
You do 90, and then you do times 1.10, and then you do.
So what does that get me? How much is our total for the fertilizer with tax? Bennett?
9, right?
You're close. You missed something.
It's because you got it.
Well, we have 90. We could do 1.10. 1.1 is the same. Did you just do 90 times 10?
Yeah.
Or 0.10, I mean?
Yeah.
So that would be doing it. Aiden is doing the second method where we're going to find the tax directly.
Oh.
So Aiden, what is it?
99.
So if we did it the way that Bennett was doing it, and we did that 0.10 times 90. That gives us $9 in tax. Then we would have to add that on to the $90 to get our 99. So if you do it, it wasn't wrong. It was just the different method. So if we do it the first method, you would get $9 and add it on to 90 to get 99. If you do the second method, we just directly get $99. But that doesn't answer my question. My question is, how much change am I going to get? How much change would I get if I paid with $100, Melina?
You do 99 minus 30. 30.
So how much am I paying?
Oh, wait.
How much? What am I using to pay
Oh,
with?
100.
I'm paying with $100, and I want to take away what our total was. So what am I going to subtract? 99. And that leaves me with $1 in change. Can anybody guess why I changed our percentage from 20% down to 10%? James?
Because if you do the 3 bags times the 20%, the change would go over 100.
Yeah, because it would cost $108.
So there would be
Yeah,
there'd be no change.
you would still owe money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Mr. Schultz this morning and said, this isn't working out for me. Did I do something wrong? Because I'm getting $108, but I'm only paying with 100. And he went, oh, that's my bad. Sorry. So we decided to change it down to 10%. So that way we could actually get some change from it. Okay. Because we want to know how to find the change. That's kind of the point of this. So you can do either step 1 or method 1 or method 2. Either way, we got $99 for our total. So you do the one that works easiest for you. But what do we have to show? Show your work. So let me show you. Think about when we were correcting this last objective. I showed my work right in the box. So if our price is $40 and it was 10%, if you do the second method, you can show your calculations, what you're putting in right in the box there. If you're doing the first method, you have all this space down below. You have the space on the page before you. But if you are doing that second method, you would say, okay, it's $40. That's my original price times 1 point. And then my percentage, plug that into the calculator, and I'm going to put the answer right there. That's showing your work. You can do that. And when you go back to review it, when we take the test after Christmas, you're going to remember what you did. Okay? We're not going to remember in 3 weeks, 3 weeks for whenever we get to the test after Christmas. It's going to be hard to remember if we just have an answer. Show the calculation that you did so you can say, oh, that's right. That's how I did that. Then, so everybody put your pencils down. So we're listening. Pencils down, eyes up here. Eyes up here. Eyes up here. Pencils down. Pencils down, calculators down. Pencils down. Hands are free. Calculators down. Oh my goodness. All right. Show your work. Down here, you can also use these methods outside the realm of taxes and percentages are larger. Find the new amount. So we're increasing by huge amounts. Instead of saying it's tax, because we're not going to have a tax of 80%, but there will be times that you have to increase things by a large percentage. Same math that we're doing. Our method didn't change. Same math, it's just not doing it with tax. Then we have review. So
we're not using a tax for those?
it's not called tax. It's not called a 20% tax, but we're doing the same math. We're still increasing it by that percentage.
So just 0.2 times 80 and then add.
And then add it back on. Yep, so it's the same method that we're using. Either method will get you the same answer. So whether or not it says it's the tax increase of 20% or it's just increased by 20%, you're doing the same thing. Okay? Any questions on these two methods? All right, for my friends at home, we hope you are well. We hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.